Welcome students, welcome to lecture number 5 where we will be starting with module number 2 under subject financial management. Module number 2, as per video syllabus, it covers what is the meaning of time value of money, future value of single cash flow and annuity, present value of single cash flow, annuity and perpetuity, simple interest, compound interest, capital recovery, loan amortization, case study on loan amortization, and you have computer lab for calculation of future value, present value, and loan amortization in MS Excel. And this particular module is a combination of theory as well as problems. So let us move ahead. Basically, today we will be covering what is the meaning of time value of money, simple interest and compound interest. And we'll also be coming across the certain terms which we have seen in our syllabus. So first we'll understand what are those terms and later we'll deal with problems on it. So let us start with time value of money. So it is very important first to know what is the meaning of time value of money. So students, simply as the name goes, time value of money, we come to understand that the value of money, keeps changing with the time. Means though the amount of money may be the same, but the value will differ depending on the changes in time. So for example, I give you 1,000 rupees today, and the same 1,000 rupees I give you after 5 years. So though the amount is the same 1,000 rupees, but the value of that 1,000 rupees keeps on changing with time, because today what you can purchase with 1,000 rupees, that same amount, with the same amount after 5 years, you will not be able to purchase the same quantity. That means the value of money will change with time. So the money you have in hand at the moment is worth more than the same amount you may get in the future. Today the value of 1 lakh, today the value of 1 crore is different, and the same amount, I know the same amount 1 crore or same amount 1 lakh, the value of it after some particular point of time will be different. So today's money will not be having the same value as tomorrow. So the value of money keeps changing with time. Now, money has time value. See, money is having time value attached with it because it changes with time. It is not the same. What our parents used to purchase in 1 rupee, today we may not be able to purchase those same stuffs in amount of 1 rupee. And likewise, what we are able to purchase today at rupees 100, our generation, our future generation may not be able to purchase the same amount of things at rupees 100 in the future. So the value is keeps on changing depending upon time. Now, money has time value because of certain reasons. Why does the amount, or why does the value of money, though the amount is same, keeps on changing? What is the reason? So the value of money declines due to combined impact of the following. So first thing is inflation in the economy. See, as you know that in an inflationary economy, inflation is where the prices always are rising. In an inflationary economy, the money received today, whatever money you're receiving today, has more purchase power than the money, same money that is received in future. So in the sense, a rupee today represents a greater or higher purchasing power than a rupee a year after. So in inflationary condition, what happens, since the prices are rising, whatever money you are having today, in the future may not be able to purchase, it will not be having the same purchasing power as it has today. So the one reason why the value of money keeps on changing is inflation. Second is risk. See students, risk and uncertainty. So as we always know, future is always uncertain and risky. We do not know what happens tomorrow. So the outflow in our control, as payments to parties are made by us. But there is no certainty for future cash inflows. Since we know whatever payment will be made we have to make, we are certain about it. But whatever payments we have to receive, it is very uncertain. So cash inflows is always dependent on our creditors, bankers, etc. So it is very riskier and uncertain since we are not certain about the cash inflows that we will be getting. And that is the reason, as an individual or firm, since they are not certain about the future cash receipts, it prefers receiving cash now. So many a times what happens, if you have to receive from someone cash at a later period of time, you will prefer receiving the cash today because you know future is uncertain. There is a risk attached in the future. So risk involved in delayed receipts of payment or cash transactions. So you know that there is lots of risk, lots of uncertainty if there is some receipts you are to receive in a future date. So you always think that it is better I receive it today. Next, opportunity cost of capital delayed. So there is lots of, see, an investor is having lots of opportunities, investment opportunities. Like if an investor is having money today, he can make profit out of the money received today. So whatever the money is receiving today will be higher, having a higher value after a certain period of time. See students, again I'm repeating, the amount is the same, but the value of money keeps on changing with time. And these are the reasons for the effect or the impact where the money, value of money keeps on declining as when we move ahead. But in the present, there is a higher purchasing power in respect of money. So did everyone understand what is the meaning of time value of money? So in
Yes, ma'am.
simple, the fundamental principle behind the concept of time value of money is that money received today is having more value than the same money received after a period of time. Is this clear? Now, why is this very important for us to understand the concept of time value of money? Because it is very vital if in making any financial decision. If you have to make any financial decisions, we need to know what is the value of money today and what will be the value of same amount of money after a certain period of time. So did everyone understand this particular slide? See
Yes,
students,
ma'am.
the entire chapter basically based on this particular concept. So it is very important you understand this concept of time value of money, because in this particular module we will just be seeing what is the value of money today, what is the value of money in the future. We will just be comparing the same amount, like suppose the value of money today is 1 lakh rupees. What will be the value of 1 lakh rupees after 10 years? That is the future value. And suppose if the future value is 10 lakhs, what will be the value of it in the present? So there is an entire model which is running behind this present value and future value of money. So it's very important to understand this concept. Next, there is something called as simple interest. Now, it may be defined as interest that is calculated as a simple percentage of original principal amount. So students, for example, suppose you are keeping 10,000 rupees in a bank on simple interest. Now, and suppose you are keeping it for a period of 10 years. So today you go to a bank, you put 10,000 into the bank on simple interest and you're keeping for a period of 10 years. And every year you're receiving interest. Now, every year you will be receiving interest on 10,000 only. Like original principal amount is 10,000. So for first year, you will be receiving the interest on 10,000. Second year, 10,000. Third year, 10,000. Up to 10 years, you are keeping the money in the bank, you will get the interest will be calculated on 10,000 only and not interest on interest. So suppose if the interest is 10%, so for the first year you will have 10,000 plus 100. Then for the next, for 10,000 plus 100, then for the next year you will not calculate interest on principal plus interest. You will calculate it only on original principal amount. So simple interest basically is an interest that is always calculated on original principal amount, irrespective of the rate of interest, irrespective of the number of years you have kept the investment in the bank or any other place. So remember students, simple interest is an interest which is calculated always on the original principal amount. So formula of simple interest is nothing but PTR divided by 100, where SI stands for simple interest, P stands for original principal amount that you are, depositing into the bank or you're investing it. T stands for the rate of, sorry students, your T is the time period and R is the rate of interest. So here T is going to be, R is going to be the rate of interest and T is going to be the time period. So just remember students, simple interest is an interest that is calculated on the original principal amount. The amount of interest will remain same in all the years. The amount of interest will remain same in all the years. It will not change, and it is an interest which is given on your principal amount irrespective of the amount of investment. And it has a simple formula to calculate simple interest. Simple interest is nothing but PTR divided by 100. Now suppose you want to know what is going to, suppose if I've kept 10,000 in the bank for a period of 5 years on simple interest. So 10,000 I've kept in the bank for a period of 5 years simple interest. What is going to be the amount that I'm going to receive after 5 years from the bank? After 5 years, I'm going to receive the original principal amount plus the simple interest earned. So the amount that I'm going to receive after 5 years from the bank will be my original principal amount plus simple interest. So usually the future amount is always denoted by A. So A is nothing but your future amount that you're going to receive. So A is nothing but your P plus SI. So P is your principal amount plus SI is your simple interest. So did everyone understand what is the meaning of simple interest? Yes, students? Any doubts in this?
No, ma'am.
Is anyone clear? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Next is compound interest. Now see, what is the difference between simple interest and compound interest? When interest is calculated on total of previously earned interest and the original principal, it is called as compound interest. Student, what was happening in simple interest? In simple interest, we were calculating interest in all the years on the original principal amount only. But in compound interest, what do? We calculate interest on the original principal plus the interest earned in that particular year. So continuing my example, suppose I go to a bank to deposit 10,000 rupees and I say that I'm keeping this 10,000 rupees on compound interest for a period of 10 years. Okay, so the first year I receive an interest of 10 on 10,000, 10% is 1,000. So 10,000 plus 1,000 is 11,000 I have to receive at the end of 1 year. Then for the second year when I have to calculate interest, I will not calculate only on 10,000 being my original principal amount. I will calculate on 10,000 plus the 1,000 rupees what I have earned for 1 year. So totally on 11,000 I'm going to calculate my compound interest. So the difference between simple and compound interest is simple interest, irrespective of the number of years, you're always going to calculate on the only principal amount. But compound interest, you're going to calculate it on original principal amount plus the interest that you're earning in that particular year. So it's going to be the principal amount plus the interest amount that is earned in the preceding year. On that you are going to calculate compound interest on the current year. So compound interest can be calculated annually, semi-annually, or quarterly. quarterly, monthly, daily. So many a times what happens, banks, they give you an option whether they don't give you an option, they give you a facility where they are having the interest calculation. Either they will give you compound interest annually, semi-annually, quarterly, monthly, daily. When I say annually means in a year only once interest is calculated at the end of the year. When I say semi-annually, the amount that you have deposited, interest on that will be calculated half yearly. That means twice in a year. So half yearly, 6 months, it will be calculated after every 6 months. When I say quarterly means the interest calculation will happen at the end of 3 months. So a quarter compromise of 3 months makes a quarter. So every quarterly, after every 3 months, the bank will be calculating the interest on the amount deposited. When I say monthly means every month, at the end of every month, the compound interest calculation will be happening. And when I say daily means every day the calculation will be happening. Now, how or what is the method to calculate compound interest? So there's a formula for calculating compound interest. So when I say annually, so how does the bank calculate compound interest annually? So A, as I've already told you all earlier, A denotes the future value. A is denoting the future value. So what will be your future value at the end of 1 year? Suppose at the year 0, you're depositing money on compound interest. So after 1 year, what is going to be your amount that you're going to receive? A is the amount that you're going to receive. So A is nothing but P in the bracket 1 plus R raised to N. So when I say P is the original principal amount. 1 is a numerical digit. R is the rate of interest, and N is the number of period, or for the number of time period you are depositing the money in the bank, or you're keeping the money, okay, in your savings. So A is the future amount, P is the principal amount, R is the rate of interest, and N is the number of time period or the number of years you are keeping the amount in the bank. Suppose if we are opting for semi-annually. So semi-annually, the only difference in this particular formula is if it is semi-annually, divide R by 2 and multiply N by 2. Why 2? Because twice the interest calculation will be happening in 1 year. As I told you, 6 months. After every 6 months, half yearly. So twice interest calculation will be happening. So divide R by 2 and multiply N by 2. The formula remains the same. When I say quarterly means we have 4 quarters in a year. Divide R by 4 and multiply N by 4. Similarly, when I say monthly, divide R by 12 because we have 12 months in a year and multiply N by 12. When I say daily, the formula remains the same, but you're going to divide R by 365 and multiply N by 365. Now, how is the solving going to happen? How are you going to solve this particular formula that we will be seeing when we solve the problems on compound interest? So students, have you all understood what is compound interest? Compound interest is an interest that is calculated on the original principal plus the interest previously earned. So on the principal amount plus the interest, you are going to calculate compound interest. So now, for example, in this particular formula annually, now A is the future amount and P is the original principal amount. Now, if I want to find out the interest amount, compound interest amount, so what is going to be the formula to find out the compound interest? So compound interest will be nothing but future value minus present value. Whatever amount you're going to whatever amount you're going to earn in the future minus the amount that you have invested today, the difference will be the compound interest that you have received over a period of n number of period or over a period of time. So did everyone understand what is compound interest? So actually, how to calculate compound interest? Compound interest is nothing but A minus P. But how are you going to calculate this A? A is nothing but future value. So this is the formula. formula for that. So did everyone understand the concept of compound interest?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let us move ahead. Now, while reading out the syllabus, we came across many terms as present value, future value, annuity, perpetuity. So before we, go in depth in this particular module, it is very important that you know what is the meaning of these terms as present value, future value, annuity, perpetuity. Reason, because we'll be using these terms quite often in our entire module. We'll be using these terms. So it is very important that you'll understand what this terms stands for. So present value, when I say present value, if I say what the present value of a particular item is, suppose 10 lakh rupees. So what is the meaning of present value, students? It is the value of money that you currently have. So when I say find out the present value in any particular problem, means you have to find out the value of that particular item as on today. Okay, as on current date, what is going to be the value of money that is called as present value. Now, it is the money you have currently that is equal to future one-time dispersal or several part payments discounted by a suitable rate of interest. Now, students, simply you need to know that present is the amount of money you currently have, okay, which may be equal to some amount in future. Like suppose today 10,000 rupees. The value of 10,000 rupees may be equal to the value of suppose 30,000 in future. Maybe after 2 years, it's going to be equal. So present value is some value which you have as on today, which may be equal to certain amount in future, which is discounted at a suitable rate of interest. So let me tell you, students, there are types of values that you all know. One is present value, which is a current value, future value, which is a value that you will be receiving after a certain period of time. Now, suppose if I tell you after 5 years, for example, after 5 years, I am going to receive, suppose say, okay, say after 25 years, I am going to receive 1 crore rupees. Suppose if I say after 25 years, I'm going to receive 1 crore rupees on the investments that I have made. Now, what is the value of 1 crore as on today? I am going to receive 1 crore after 25 years. So this 1 crore is not my present value. After 25 years, I say it's going to be the future value. So in future, after 25 years, I'm going to receive 1 crore. Now, what is the value of 1 crore today? What is the present value today? So how am I going to find out present value today? By discounting it. By discounting that 1 crore at certain rate of interest. So always remember, students, from the future value, if you want to find out the present value, you have to use discounting technique. Discounting means you're bringing down that 1 crore from 25 years, you're bringing down the 1 crore to 0, like as on today, by using a rate of interest. So you're discounting that 1 crore from future to the present. So it is coming down, right? Future is ahead. From you're getting it down to the present value. So you are using discounting technique. So just remember, present value means value as on today. And if you have to find out present value of some future amount, you have to use a technique which is called as discounting technique with the help of certain rate of interest, which is called as discounted rate of interest. Is this concept of present value clear, students? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Next, future value. Future value is a sum of money that any savings scheme with a compounded interest will build by a pre-decided future date. It applies to both lump sum as well as recurring investments like SIP. So in short, students, future value is nothing. Something today, present, as on today, I go to the bank, I deposit, suppose 1 lakh rupees. Now 1 lakh rupees is my present value because I am depositing it today. Now, what is going to be the future value? On that 1 lakh rupees, the bank will give me compound interest for a period of 10 years if I'm depositing. After 10 years, whatever amount I'm getting, that is going to be my future value. So future value is a sum of money that any saving scheme. Now suppose if I'm depositing 1 lakh and in my deposit account, so it's my saving account with the compounded interest. So bank is giving me compounded interest. Will build to by a pre-decided future date, and after 10 years is a decided future date. So my future value will not, no, bank will not give me 1 lakh rupees if I deposit today. After 10 years, it won't give me 1 lakh back. It will give me 1 lakh plus the interest that I have earned for 10 years. So whatever I'm going to receive in the future in respect of the investments that I've made today is my future value. Now, it applies to both lump sum as well as recurring investments like SIP. So for example, in my example, I have given an example of lump sum amount where I'm going to the bank depositing 1 lakh, and after 10 years, I'm going to get a future value of that work. But I can also give recurring investments, like every year I can keep depositing 10,000 rupees, or every year I can keep depositing 15,000 rupees. And what will the value I will get after 10 years will be my future value. So systematic investment plan is where you are not depositing lump sum today, you are depositing equal amount or unequal amount of savings in your account, and it will give some value in the future. Now students, your present value is 1 lakh. If you want to know what is going to be the value of 1 lakh in the future after 10 years, that is, you are going to take it from the present to the future, you are going to use compounding technique. Compounding technique is nothing but a technique which will help you to find out the future value of a present amount that you have invested, deposited, or saved. So we have seen present value. In present value, if you have to find out the present value of future amount, if the future amount, whatever you have invested, you want to find out the present value, you have to use discounting technique because you have to bring it down. But if you want to find out the future value of some present amount that is invested, you have to use compounding technique because you have to take that particular 1 lakh rupees up to the future. So which technique you are going to use? Compounding technique. Okay, and based on the suitable rate of interest, which is called as compounded interest. So is the concept of future value clear, students? Yes, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next, annuity. What's the meaning of annuity? Come across, in several problems, the word annuity. Now, what is annuity? It is a fixed payment or receipt each year for a specified number of years. In other words, it is a series of equal cash flow arising up to a specified period of time. So in simple words, students, annuity is nothing but a series of equal payment. Suppose every year I am depositing in my account or in some savings scheme rupees 1,000 every year, 1,000 rupees for a period of 10 years. Now, what will I name it as? So I will tell that I have an annuity plan of 1,000 rupees in my savings account. So the word annuity simply means that it is a series of equal payment. Likewise, if the bank has to give me some interest, if it is giving me interest yearly, interest of some fixed amount, and I have to receive that. So annuity simply means that series of equal cash inflow or series of equal cash outflow for a specified number of years, where the number of years is fixed, but it may fluctuate. But there is a certain period of years for which I will get the payment, or I will receive the cash. So it is called annuity. So in simple words, annuity means a series of equal cash flow. It can be cash inflow, it can be cash outflow, but the amount that I'll be receiving at the time periods will be fixed amount. It will not fluctuate. Like today I'm getting 1,000 and then tomorrow I get 500. If the word annuity is used, remember students, it is a series of equal cash flow. When I say cash flow, it can be cash coming into me or it can be cash flowing out from me. Now, there are two types of annuity. One is deferred annuity and annuity due. Now, what is deferred annuity? If I'm receiving the cash payments or if I am making the cash payments, which is arising at the end of each period. Suppose I'm making the cash payments at the end of every month. Suppose by 30th, I'm making cash payment of suppose 500 rupees in my post office deposit. So every month on 30th I'm paying 500 rupees to the post office. So this is called as deferred annuity because 500 is fixed amount, so it is falling under the nomenclature of annuity. And deferred because I'm paying it at the end of each period. It can be end of every month, it can be end of every quarter, it can be end of every year. So whenever I am making the payment or receiving the amount at the end of any period, maybe month, quarter, year, half yearly, at the end of every half yearly, it is said as deferred annuity. What is annuity due? If I'm receiving the cash flow at the beginning of each period, we give it a name as annuity due. Suppose if I have to make payment or if I have to receive the payment at first of every month, or maybe at the beginning of the year, or maybe at the beginning of the quarter, then I will name it as annuity due. So in simple words, this entire slide means annuity is nothing but a series of equal payment. It can be cash inflow or outflow, but only up to a specified number of years. Only up to some number of years which will be specified. There are two types of annuity, deferred and due. If in the problem it is mentioned it is annuity deferred, always remember means I'm receiving the amount at the end of the period. Can be anything, month, it can be quarter, it can be half yearly, it can be annually. Now, when I say annuity due, means the cash flow I am receiving at the beginning of the period. So students, is this particular slide clear to you all?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
students?
Yes, ma'am.
Next we come across is what is perpetuity. Perpetuity is an infinite series of periodical payments of equal face value. In other words, perpetuity is a situation where a constant payment is made periodically for an infinite amount of time. It is an annuity having no end, and that is why the perpetuity is sometimes called as perpetual annuity. Students, in annuity, what did we see? We saw that it is a series of equal cash inflow or outflow for a specified number of time, for a specified period of time, where we knew that yes, we would receive it only for n number of years. But in case of perpetuity, it is infinite. Suppose if I have taken a plan where I make an investment today, but I will be receiving cash inflows in future up to my death. Till the day I die, I'll be receiving the payment. So do I know the specified number of years up to which I'm going to receive the payment? No, because it is perpetual. I don't know the number of years I'll be staying. So it is infinite series where you will not be knowing, you will be receiving it up to the end, where the number of periods is not specified. So it is called as perpetuity. So similar, perpetuity is same as annuity, students, no difference. Only difference is in annuity you know the specified number of years for which you will be receiving the payment, but in case of perpetuity it is an infinite series of periodical payment. You don't know the number of specified years up to which you will be receiving the payment or either making the payment. So this is perpetuity. This word also is frequently used in this particular module. Again, the amount will be equal, and whatever you're going to receive or whatever you're going to pay has no end. There is no specified number of period years. So here there is no question of n. You know, in our formula usually we make use of p, which is the present value. We make use of r, which is the rate of interest. We make use of n, which is the number of periods. Where in perpetuity, n will not be there because we don't know the number of years, since perpetuity means there is no end to it. Okay, so did everyone understand this concept of perpetuity? Yes, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Did everyone? Okay, let us move on. Let's see some problems on simple interest. Okay, is the screen visible to everyone? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So let us see some few problems on simple interest. If you invest rupees 10,000 in a bank at simple and 7% per annum, what will be the amount at the end of 3 years? So what are they telling here? This all problems are on simple interest. Suppose today you go to the bank, you deposit 10,000 rupees on simple interest for 7% for a period of 3 years. After 3 years, what are you going to receive? So first thing you know that the P is nothing but the original principal amount that you're investing, that is P stands for 10,000 rupees. 7% is your R because it is your rate of interest. 3 years is nothing but time, that is N, or you can say it as T, time period. Okay, how do you calculate simple interest, students? So let us see the solution. Simple interest is nothing but P divided by 100, where P you know is 10,000 rupees. Time you know is 3 years as given in the problem. R is 7%, so 7 divided by 100. So when you multiply 10,000 into 3 into 7, you get 2,10,000 divided by 100. So your simple interest is 2,100. Now 2,100 will be the same. Simple interest is the same in every year, students. So they are telling you what will be the amount at the end of 3 years. So the present value is 10,000. They are asking you what will be the amount at the end of 3 years. Means they are asking you A. They are asking you the future value. If you are keeping it on in simple interest, what is going to be the future value of 10,000? So A, future value is always denoted by A. So A is nothing but the present value plus the simple interest that you're earning. Present is 10,000 rupees as given in the problem, and simple interest as we have calculated is 2,100, which we are going to earn from the bank. So our future value at the end of 3 years is going to be 12,100, which we have kept on simple interest. So students, have you all understood problem number 1? It's a very simple problem. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let us move ahead to problem number 2. Rupees 1,000 deposited in a bank for 2 years at simple interest of 6%. How much will be the balance at the end of 2 years? Now students, this is a simple problem on simple interest. Once we start with compound interest and calculating the present and future value, the challenging part in the question will be to identify whether they are asking you the future value in the problem or they are asking you to calculate the present. Now, rupees 2,000 is deposited in the bank. So when you are depositing in the bank, it's going to be your present value. And they're asking you how much will be the balance at the end of 2 years. 2 years is going to be your future value. So again, same, simple interest is nothing but PTR upon 100, where P is 2,000 rupees, number of years is 2 years, and rate of interest is 6% divided by 100. So again, when you multiply 2,000 into 2 into 6, it is 24,000 divided by 100, which is rupees 240. Now you know the original principal amount, you know the simple interest that you have earned over a period of 2 years. So what is going to be your future value? It is going to be denoted by A. So A is going to be P plus SI, which is nothing 2,000 plus 240, which is 2,240 rupees. Next, is this particular problem clear? It was similar to problem number 1. So is this problem clear to everyone? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
students.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let us move
Yes,
ahead to
ma'am.
problem number 3. Find the rate of interest. Now they are asking you to find out the rate of interest. If the amount owed after 6 months is rupees 1050, what will be the borrow amount being rupees 6,000 rupees 1000? So students, here they are telling if the amount you have to owe after 6 months is 1050 and the amount you borrow today is 1000 rupees, so what is the rate of interest? So students, from this you have to identify that 1000 is the present value, future value is 1050, and the time period given is 6 months. Okay, they are telling you to find the rate of interest. So students, first we can find out what is the simple interest amount hidden in this. So just look here. We know that the future value is nothing but the present value plus simple interest. Now future value given is 1050. Okay, 1050. Present value we know is 1000 plus simple interest. So what is going to be the amount of simple interest? 1050 minus 1000 means this 50 rupees is nothing but the simple interest that is being charged. So now when you know the amount of simple interest is 50, we have to just place it in the formula. Just place it in the formula. So simple interest is nothing but PTR upon 100. We know simple interest is 50. The original principal amount is 1000. Time period is 6 months. Now 6 divided by 12. Since it is in months, so 6 divided by 12, it will be 0.5, or you can write 6 by 12, that's not an issue, into R divided by 100. So we have just substituted the figures in the formula. Now, you know how to solve this particular equation. You have to cross multiply this. 50 into 100 is equals to 1000 into 0.5 into R. So that is 500 into R. So you get 5000 is equals to 500 R. So just get R on the left hand side. R is equals to 5000 divided by 500. Therefore R 10%. Therefore the rate of interest is 10%. So students, in the problem it is very important first to identify what are the elements that are present and what are the elements that you need to find. Once you are able to segregate the elements, then you just have to substitute it in the formula. Is the problem number 3 clear, students? Yes? Yes, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Is the problem? Okay. Now problem number 4. A sum of rupees 25,000 becomes 27,250 at the end of 3 years. When calculated at simple interest, find the rate of interest. Now, very simple. What are they asking? A sum of 25,000 becomes 27,250 at the end of 3 years. Here, you need to identify 25,000 is the principal amount, 27,250 is the future amount, 3 years is the time period, and they're telling us to find out rate of interest. So first, when you minus 27,250 minus with 25,000, you get the amount of simple interest. So see here, students, A is equal to P plus S. So you got A, that is 27,250 is equals to 25,000 plus SI. So how do you calculate simple interest? Just take the difference of present value minus future value. It's 2,250 is your simple interest. So again, substitute it in the formula of simple interest to find out rate of interest. So 2,250 is equals to 25,000 into 3 into R divided by 100. So again, when you solve this particular equation, you get R as 3%. So everyone understand this particular problem? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let us move ahead to problem number 5. Now, I want you all to tell me, find the present worth of 78,000 due in 4 years at percent rate of interest. Can anyone tell me what are the elements that are present in this particular problem? Is present value present in this, but is the present original principal amount available in this problem?
No, ma'am.
What is 70? What is 78,000?
Future
What is
value.
78,000?
Future value.
What is 4 years?
Period.
And
Time period.
5%?
Time period.
Yes.
Interest.
It's a rate
Rate
of
of
interest.
interest.
So they are telling us to find out the present value. So we know that it is on simple interest. Therefore, start your solution with simple interest is nothing but PTR divided by 100. So simple interest is nothing but P into 4 years into 5% divided by 100. So your simple interest is nothing but P into 0.2. When you multiply this 4 into 5 divided by 100, it is 0.2. So your simple interest is nothing but 2P. Okay, now you have to find out the present worth. You know that future value is nothing but your present value plus your simple interest. Present value is 78,000 plus is equals to P, which you have to find out. You don't know. You know that your simple interest is nothing but 0.2P. So you write 0. Now your 78,000 is equal to 1P. When there is a single element, you have to always attach 1 to it. So 1P plus 0.2P is nothing but 1.2. So your present value or your original principal amount is nothing but 78,000 divided by 1.2, which is nothing but 65,000 rupees. So your present value, present worth is 65,000 rupees. So students, depending upon the information given in the problem, you have to place it in such a way that it derives at the solution. Like in this particular problem, there was no simple interest amount given. There was no present value amount given, but you have to substitute it in such a way where you will come to the final answer. So did everyone understand problem number 5? Students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now problem number 6. A certain principal amounts to rupees 15,000.5 years and rupees 16,500 in 4 years at the same rate of interest. Find the rate of interest. Now, can anyone tell me what information is given in this problem? A certain principal amount means we do not know what is the principal amount. We have to find out the principal amount. A certain principal amount amounts to 15,000 in 2.5 years means at the end of 2.5 years you're going to get 15,000. So 15,000 is your future value, which you're going to get after 2.5 years. And the same principal amount is giving you 16,500 in 4 years. Means again 16,500 your future value, which you are going to get at the end of 4 years, but at the same rate of interest. So obviously when they tell in the problem same rate of interest, means it is obviously going to be simple interest, because we know that in simple interest the amount of interest remains the same every year, because simple interest is calculated on the original principal amount. So since it is the same rate of interest, it is a simple interest. Now find the rate of interest they are asking. So let us see the solution. Now what they're telling, amount becomes 50,000 in 2.5 years and 16,500 in 4 years. Now we know that every year in case of simple interest, same amount of interest is received. 4 years minus 2.5 years is how many years? It is 1.5 years, correct? So simple interest for 4 minus 2.5, that is 1.5 years. What is the simple interest amount? So 16,500 minus 15,000, that is 1,500. So therefore the simple interest for 1.5 years is rupees 1,500. How did we derive that? So at the end of 2.5 years, if I'm receiving 15,000 and at the end of 4 years, I'm receiving 16,500. So how much is the interest in the period of 1.5 years? I'm going to receive 1,500. Now, you have to substitute it. See students, for 1.5 years, if I'm receiving the simple interest of 1,500, then for 2.5 years, what is the simple interest I'm going to receive? So 1,500 divided by 1.5 into 2.5 is 2,500. So simple interest for 2.5 years is 2,500. Now, in this particular problem, I have taken the simple interest for 2.5 years, which will remain same every year. Next, principal amount. How do you calculate the principal amount, students? We know at the end of 2.5 years, I'm going to get 15,000. Okay. We know the interest up to 2.5 years is 2,500. So what is going to be the principal amount? It is going to be 15,000 minus 2,500, which is 12,500. In future, after 2.5 years, I am receiving 15,000. Interest up to 2.5 years is 2,500. So what is my present value? It is obviously going to be 15,000 minus 2,500, which is 12,500. So they are telling us to calculate the rate of interest. Now, let us substitute the entire findings in the formula of simple interest. Simple interest is nothing but PTR upon 100, where simple interest we got it as 2,500. Principal amount we got 12,500 years into R divided by 100. So when you solve this particular equation, you get the rate of interest as 8%. So did everyone understand this particular problem? Yes, students. Now either here instead of 2.5, you can take it as 4 years, and here you can take it as 4 years. It is your choice. You use 2.5 years in your calculation or 4 years in your calculation. If you're using 4 years in your calculation, it will be 6,100 minus interest up to the period of 4 years. Since simple interest, the rate of the amount of interest will be the same every. So everyone understand problem number 6? Yes, students. Do you all get how to solve problem number 6? Yes.
Yes,
Or
ma'am.
is there any
Yes,
doubt in
ma'am.
this particular problem?
No, ma'am, no doubt.
Okay, good. So we had covered certain simple problems on simple interest. So thank you so much, students. We are done for the class.